Hooray, we made it to block 7. Block 7 was one of my favorites. This is one of the birdhouses that was in my head that I wanted to make sure that I got on here. I liked the idea of, to me, it was like a gazebo, and being able to add some fun flowers to it. So let's do a close-up and see what we got going on. Okay, there are lots of details in just different variety of stitches to give the detail to the top of the little gazebo, and the bottom here, I'll talk about some of the flowers. These guys are French knots, sometimes one wrap, sometimes two, or French knots or colonial knots. And how tight you pull it, it's the same ribbon, but sometimes I was wrapping it 4 and 5 times probably, and sometimes just 1 in order to get those the beautiful flowers like that. These little pansies are bullion knot stitches, and so they have little ones around the bottom and then a big one across the top. The names of the flowers have completely escaped me. Hollyhocks. To do the hollyhocks, that's just a buttonhole stitch all the way around with that particular thread, gives it a good weave like that. And these little snapdragons are 3 bullion knots. There's 1 up and down, and then 1 over the top in the middle, and 1 over the top in the bottom. And so they are super fun to be able to add your own little garden to that one. Okay, let's move on to this house. This house, oddly enough, when you're like, wow, that's the weirdest house in the group. Yes, it is. One of the wools that we ordered, it's not the weirdest house, but anyway, one of the wools that we ordered was, had some a magenta in it, and it had green and a bright green and a navy in it. And that was my intention for the background of this house when I put it together. But when it came time to stitch it on, it turned out that it was so much darker of a wool than anything else that it was like it had a big black blob here. So I went with the same colors because I felt like I wasn't repeating other colors. It fit well together, but I did change up what we put on it. So it is the flower house. It has lots of different kinds of flowers. This one has 3 detached chain stitches in the almost like a cone flower on this one. This one is has that I cannot remember what that's called. Okay. So it has lots of flowers. Like this one is the cone flower, has some detached chain stitches. There's some French knots. And so you can see that we alternate. All of these flowers are the same thread, but it's every 3rd flower. And then, so I put flowers along this side and just some even bars on this side. This trellis also anywhere that we've got like the diamond or grid pattern on it is a trellis as well. And so there's a little kind of flower in the corner of each of the trellises, and all the way along here we've got cute little fly stitches with actually they're detached chain stitches, not fly stitches, and little French knots on the inside of each one. The other fun thing about this block is that you get to start on the dogwood flowers. Let me zoom in and see if I can keep it clear enough that you can see. So just follow the instructions on the dogwood flowers. In order for the tips of dogwood flowers are a little bit darker on the edge here. So I went ahead and added these little crowns here. I call them crowns in each of the little divots. Now, when you cut out these dogwood flowers, they are almost like 2 figure 8s that you lap over top of each other. And then as you're stitching, you can go ahead and add. Again, that'll add just a dark tint to it. So when you're more than 6 inches from the quilt, instead of seeing a little pink crown here, you'll just see the dark edges like a dogwood flower has. Let's see. Now that's everything with block 7. We're ready to go on to block 6. I'll see you in the next video.